on? It's your boy Tiras. And today, man, you know what I'm saying? We got a little something special for y'all, man. My boy Avery hit me up. He said, Ty, man, we ain't talked to the people in a long time. So I'm like, let's do something, even if it's just me and you. So I got my boy, the infamous Mr. Career Over, Avery Graves. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, fam? I know it's been a long time. Everybody been working, trying to get things together, man. You been all right, Ty?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, man.
It's so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this thing, man. First round, we're gonna go through the first round because we ain't been around in so long, man. So we're gonna kind of start from the beginning of it, then we're gonna work our way on up to where we at now. So,
right.
What's your biggest surprise? And this is kind of a two-part answer, a two-part question. What's your biggest surprise from the first round, player and team? So, what team was surprised you the most, and what player surprised you the most?
The team that surprised me the most, I had to go Miami Heat. I wasn't expecting them to beat the Bucks. They came out the playing game. They lost to Atlanta. I knew it was kind of a fluke, and I felt like they were going to beat Chicago. But a player surprise right now in the playoffs is Booker because he's been very consistent. He's been very consistent. Last game he shot 14 to 18. The game before he shot 20 for 25, and he got Durant up there. So that's what surprises. But I'm coming around on Book. He said consistent like this, I can be a fan. But
I forgot you at one point you was a Book hater. So
I was never a Book hater, man. Don't do that. I just said Book just want to shoot the ball. He don't do that now. But 12 assists though without Chris Paul because he's the primary point guard now. So that's pretty good, man. I wasn't expecting that out of him, but he's growing. He's growing as a professional basketball player.
Got you. So for me, man, surprise team. Even though this team didn't win, for them to take the defending champs to 7 games. I was surprised by the Kings, man. And I really think that, they have, I ain't gonna say they have arrived, but I don't think they're a team that could be taken lightly. I think in the beginning of the series, maybe Golden State didn't take them as serious as they should have. I know they're kind of working it back with Wiggins just coming back in the fold, but for them to go, they went up 2-0, and for them to take them to 7, it impressed me. Surprises, I can't really say this is a surprise. But Jimmy Butler's performance so far in the playoffs is not really surprising me. Although the 50-something did surprise me, followed up with the 40-something. So, definitely, man, Jimmy Butler's been having a great playoffs. I know we had a debate yesterday on the sports arena about who's been having a better playoffs, Jimmy Butler or Devin Booker. I would like your take on that. So who do you think is having a better playoff so far?
That's tough. And the only reason why people are gonna say Booker, I'm gonna say y'all said Booker. I know you and Jimmy, but they said Booker because I think Booker's been doing it every game. But hell, Jimmy been doing it every game. Missed one, and he does it in different variety of ways. He's not a great 3-point shooter. He just does it a different way. To me, he's like a mini Joker, in a sense. He wants to facilitate. He's going to rebound, and he can score. Like, you know what I'm saying? Booker's now he's more. You see, he can facilitate better without Chris Paul, and he's efficient from the field. So, I mean, I don't know who to pick. Really, I don't like people to say, "Oh, Booker's the best, been playing the best in the playoffs." I disagree. I think they've both been playing equally well.
Yeah. So my argument last night was, of course they said most of them said Booker, because he's.
I understand. He's the flash.
Yeah. The efficiency. But my thing was, Booker has, and we can, even though KD hasn't played great all games, Booker still has KD. When I look to the left and the right of Jimmy Butler,
Matt Strus.
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent. Like some guys you wouldn't even know. And I was telling Mike and them last night, I'm like, when if you actually watch the games, people kill me talking about, the games all the time, but they ain't actually watching the game. Like, if you watching the game, like if you watch that game where he went for 50-something, I think that was game, I want to say that was game 4, right?
Of the Bucks series.
Yeah, of the Bucks series. When he went 50-something, it's like.
Yeah, he did go 50, yeah.
If he doesn't score 50-something, they lose. Nobody else, I think the closest person to him had 15. That was Bam Adebayo. But, if he doesn't score every bit of the 50, I want to say 3 he scored or 56, I can't remember. Of the points that he scored, they don't win. So, obviously when you talk about surprises, we have to transition over to the opposite of surprises. So your biggest disappointments, and I'm gonna go first on this one, then I'm gonna let you so we kind of alternate on this. I'm gonna go first on this one. I think you know where I'm going. Spider. I mean, for me, man, it's I gave him a pass when he was in Utah.
I told you. I've been saying this I've been saying this.
But
I ain't gonna say that. I've been saying this.
Yeah, but I gave him a pass when he was in Utah because your second best player is Rudy Gobert. So it's I was kind of like, and then he was putting up numbers in Utah. This series, yes,
he always put some numbers.
This series was different. He had a game.
Yeah, he was cold.
11 points. In a closeout game. Darius Garland. Now I will say this: Darius Garland wasn't as consistent as I would like him to be, but I know he did have I want to say he did have a 30, 40-point game or something like that mixed in there. But to me, it was them. And then as far as teams go, it was him for my player. And as far as team go, it has to be the Bucks, man. When you have arguably, I think he's the best player in the NBA, but when arguably a top 3 player in the NBA, when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, even though he was hurt 2 games, or you could say 2.5 games, because he went down in a part of game 1.
1.5. Yeah, he got hurt. If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't.
He got hurt in the beginning. So we say he missed 3 games, but the second game don't matter because you blew Miami out. Mm-hmm. So I feel like even with that, with what they have, I still feel like it should have been enough to kind of fend Miami off until he got back and for him to finish him off. But when he gets back, he's missing free throws. He's not playing good. So, I mean, he could have very well have been my disappointment too, because, I feel like we got to hold superstars to a higher standard. But what you got, Avery?
He played well at the other night, but I'm not impressed by Bam. By Bam. Anybody get his name wrong. But I'm not impressed by Bam, and everybody know I'm not impressed by Jordan Poole. I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna start with Bam. Bam is so inconsistent. He'll give you one good game, and then you can't find him. That's why Jimmy. I'm thinking Bam should have been giving you at least. I'm gonna say Bam gave Jimmy a consistent 18-20 with 7 boards. Would have been good. I mean, every game. I'm not talking about him taking these days off. I'm not talking about we can't find Bam. He got to be more aggressive.
I think he should be able to give you 20 and 10, honestly.
But I'm giving him the low. I get it. I do too. The way people think Bam plays defense, I mean, you're hyping the defense, but his offensive game still needs improvement. Jordan Poole, he got that bag. He said, forget it. All right, I mean, he just said, forget it. He forgot what the playoffs went to, and you can kind of see it last year. But he was shooting a lot of big clutch threes, which could cover stuff up. Now it's exposed. You can't put the dude on the floor. You literally can't put him on the floor. What'd you put him on the floor for? I mean, I don't know. For him to keep jacking a half-court shot, he's not Steph Curry. I mean, he disappointing, man. And I've been saying this for a while. They may have to trade Jordan Poole.
So, you know how I like to do, man. When we talk about trades, man, what would be a good return on Jordan Poole in your opinion? Like what do you think if you had to trade Jordan Poole, what do you think would be a good return on him?
It's a good question. I'm really thinking about that. What would be a good return? I mean, of course, I want me a first round draft pick. You get a first round draft pick, and I want a player. It don't gotta be a high maintenance player, but it's somebody that can be effective off the bench.
So if Miami called you and said, "I'll give you a first round pick and Tyler Hero," you take it if you the Warriors?
Nah, that's too small. They're too small. Then I mean, but Hero can come. I'll take a. I know they're gonna sound crazy. I'd rather take a person that's more that can score. They need a scorer. Like a person who's going to score. They don't need. I mean, you want some defenders, but they need scorers. I'm gonna try to get Jordan Clarkson. Hey, Utah got all them all them picks. Why not? Give me a first and Jordan Clarkson for him. Because you got Kuminga. You can't let him go.
You don't feel like they're the same player though. You don't feel like Jordan Clarkson. You don't feel like Jordan Clarkson is maybe a more consistent Jordan Poole.
Yeah, but Jordan Poole think he the man. That's the difference. And I get what you're saying. Jordan Poole think he's the man. He ain't the man. He ain't playing a role. He want to be Steph Curry. Like you can see it.
Guys been hurt all season, and he's kind of had to fill that role.
But
Steph
watch,
missed.
but
I
watch
think
it.
Steph played 50. According to hardest time y'all give AD. AD played more games than Steph.
Oh, here you go.
I mean, I'm just saying. Look it up.
We know he's on the Lakers. I know. I knew that was coming. I knew you're gonna find a way to put AD in the Lakers.
All I said was AD played more games than Steph,
course.
man. You know what I mean?
I don't really know, Ty. I wouldn't really have to look down the league. What would you do? I'm just giving hypothetical because I know they need bench help. And then right now, I mean, Draymond and Clay will give you one game. You can't find them. You know what I mean? You got Dante, you got Peyton. They're hot and cold. You're not playing Kuminga. He's 20 years old. You're not giving him a shot. Moody's hot and cold. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Do you get rid of him? What can you do to find to upgrade your team? Are you letting Draymond? They got a lot of hands. If they lose to the Lakers, of course I know you're gonna say they are, but they they got a lot of answers this summer. I mean, real talk. You're not getting rid of Steph unless he wants to get traded.
I think it's tough because
Tyler Hill can get missing too.
Do I think that Jordan Poole has been inconsistent? Yes. But also when I'm looking at the games and he's been inconsistent, he hasn't played a lot. Last night, I want to say, I could be wrong. I want to say last night he played 10 minutes. Like, yeah, he shot bad, but 10 minutes? You got to get a little more clock than that. I think
he's been playing bad. They ain't even shot bad. He's not been effective at all.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I've always been on the premise of you want to kind of stay younger.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
If Clay has any type of trade value, I would look into trading Clay. That's just my opinion.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna ask you the question. What value?
That you can get
what you need to replace somebody that's a little better than Clay. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Now this is what I would do. And I say, hey, I would call up Atlanta because I know they're unhappy with the way things is going. I would give you Clay and Draymond for DeJounte Murray and what's the big?
John Collins they want to get rid of.
I would give you John Collins. Can I get John Collins, DeJounte Murray for Clay and Draymond? Why not?
Nah, I'm not doing that. You're going to let who defender?
You get DeJounte Murray. You get a defender and someone can score, and you get another big, a big that can play.
Now I know you're gonna laugh. You know I'm a homer when I say this. Maybe he'll stay healthy if he go here.
What?
Go get Kawhi the clip.
Oh, man,
I mean, the money fits. The money fits. I'm just saying. Listen, if you're going for it, if you feel like Clay, then I'm going somebody that I know can come in. Man. I know.
If I'm trading Clay for somebody on the Clippers, it ain't Kawhi, it's PG.
PG be hurt too.
Yeah, but he don't be hurt. He don't be hurt as much as Kawhi, man.
I can't tell.
If PG hurt, I know he hurt. Kawhi.
Oh, come on, man.
Kawhi could stub his toe
right
on the coffee table.
Right.
He out 3 weeks.
And he can stub his toe on the coffee table, come back and still give you a championship. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going for the guy. I mean, Curry don't got so many miles on there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're right. I mean,
it's so many miles on it. And I understand why you want to trade Clay, but I got to get some. I'm not. Come on, DeJounte Murray.
The Clippers will give me Clay for PG straight up. I'm taking the trade.
Nah. I ready to go Kawhi. I think Clay and PG are to me we're gonna upgrade. I think Clay and PG are the same.
I don't think so.
They're the same.
PG can get. Clay can't get to no rack. PG can get to the rack.
But you
can run your offense through PG.
He can sit to the same buckets. Let's not do it.
I don't know, man.
You got a point guard. You got Draymond.
I have to disagree with that.
Okay.
We have to agree to disagree on that one.
Well, I mean, BG gonna do all that handling, and the next minute he injured for 4 months. Had Clay just had one major injury, PG always hurt.
Stay disappearing though. 9 points last night.
Yeah, he was. Well, PG's disappeared a lot. He finally came up in these playoffs. Let's not play like PG. Also been doing his whole career.
So now we got a problem with playoff P.
What's up, man?
Even the dog know you tripping. All right, man. So we're gonna take this on to the next thing. So something came out today, man. You know, I'm really waiting on all NBA to come out, but I guess it's suffice now. So all defensive teams came out today. So I'm gonna read off the second team, and I'm gonna go to the first team. Second team: Derek White, Draymond Green, OG Anunoby, Dylan Brooks, and then the guy we was just talking about, Bam. First team: Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, which that was kind of surprising to me, Brook Lopez, Evan Mobley, and Alex Caruso.
Who should be in the center position for all defense?
You ain't had no problem with your boy being there all them other times.
Who?
Rudy.
I never said that.
The French Tower.
Hold on. Who's ever said anything about? I always thought he was garbage. Okay, I mean, you better be talking to somebody else.
I wouldn't have an issue with. I wouldn't have an issue with Bam play center pretty much. I wouldn't have an issue with him being there.
Not over.
I know Brook Lopez did have a lot of blocks this year.
I was surprised by Alex Caruso because he was injured late.
I was very surprised.
Yeah, but I can't be mad at it because he's a good defender. The second team. Because Bam's on the second team. So
yeah, he's on the second team.
Yeah, so I mean, really.
And if you look at the votes.
Yeah, I seen it earlier.
First place votes. Person with the most first place votes, obviously, is the guy that won.
Got to be Triple J, right?
Triple J. Then it's Drew Holiday with 94. Then it's Brook Lopez with 85. Then it drops down to Alex Caruso with 50 and then Evan Mobley with 49.
Marcus Smart didn't get no votes.
And that's, I know what I seen on Bleacher Report today. A lot of people thought that he got snubbed. I mean, you got to think Dylan Brooks got 4 first-team votes. Like, you can't tell me somebody else didn't get more votes than that.
Well, I mean, y'all can say whatever. You can say whatever about Dylan Brooks, but I mean, I know we're looking at the LeBron factor right now, but he's been a solid defender all year. He's actually been consistent, and I know we were looking.
I don't have an issue with him being there. I just don't know if he should be there over Marcus Smart.
I can't say what you have no reason why you can't say. Like, what's the reason?
What do you mean, what's the reason?
Like, what's the reason why you say Marcus Smart's over him?
I feel like Marcus Smart is a better defender.
Who says that?
What do you mean? Who says that?
Listen, a lot of people are being biased about this dude.
But when you told me McDonald's is better than Burger King, I didn't have a problem with it.
See, I thought we were having
what's the problem now?
We were having a great conversation. Here you go. A great conversation. Here you go. I mean, if you want to put Marcus Smart with Dylan, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If you have Dylan and Marcus Smart, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna just keep trashing dude because of one series. So I mean, either or, I'm not gonna disagree either way.
So any other noticeable snubs that you could think of?
What about Jaylen Brown?
Is he really
yes.
that
he's a good defender. He's a good defender. Stop it. Come on.
I didn't say he wasn't a good defender.
But maybe because he was injured and he didn't have enough, time. But really, other than that I'm thinking on the top of my head, no. Do you know anybody else that you feel like they were missing?
No, I'm pretty sure.
What about Evan Mobley? You feel like he should have been first team?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch the Cavs a whole lot this year.
Yeah, me either. Right.
I didn't. When I did watch them, I didn't see nothing that screamed out.
Right.
Defensive like first team, but I didn't see nothing for Alex Caruso either.
Right.
I know when they tried to hype him up when he was in LA, like Caruso and different things like that. Like he was playing good defense, but I mean, I feel like defense is 90% effort anyway. So I mean, he's the guy that plays hard. You know what I mean? So
even for Pat Bev's antics, you don't think he should got any type of love?
I mean, the one thing I will say is when you look at this team, the one thing that's synonymous with this team, other than OG Anunoby, is winning.
Yeah.
So when you look at the guys' first team, Jaren Jackson, Memphis.
No, Alex Caruso too.
Oh, I didn't think
You
about
forgot
it.
about that. They both were in the playing game.
But
Yeah.
I think when guys, I mean, when he was with us, we were terrible. You know, as soon as he leaves, we get better. I don't know if they look at stuff like that. I mean, I think Pat Bev is a good defender. I think he do more lip running than anything.
So they even got Derek White. I keep forgetting about that. They got Derek White up there.
Yeah, for Boston, right?
That's what I'm saying. Boston got some defenders. It just a matter who you're gonna pick out of the defender.
So you think Boston might have got Marcus Smart? I mean, not Marcus. Derek White might have got Marcus Smart votes.
I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna say because all of them can. Marcus Smart, Tatum, Brown, Horford, and if you want to put Robert Williams in when he's healthy, all right. And then you're not Malcolm Brogdon's not a bad defender. You know what I mean?
He's definitely not a bad
right.
defender.
So you got what 6, 7 real defenders on your squad. So I really don't think you go wrong with it. Grant Williams can defend too. I keep forgetting, even though he can get the clock, he can defend too. So you got about 8 defenders on your team. It just matter who you want to. The matter of your slice of pie. I know you love pie. So your slice of pie.
I'm just saying, you keep talking about all these defenders, and I seen Harden cooking them all. So I mean, I don't know. Man.
Here we go to the playoffs. Oh, okay, he had 2 40-point games, 45. Well, come on, man.
I'm just saying, man.
Harden looking good though. I'll give you that. That was good. Harden looking good.
Real good. So let's go ahead and transition into these series, man. You know, we like to start with I ain't gonna say the worst series. I feel like all 4 series have been very good, man. There's been some exciting games, been keeping me up at night, man. But we're gonna go into the first series, man. I feel like this series might be over very soon. Miami versus the Knicks.
I'm done. Keep going, please.
Miami's up 3-1. Do you see anything differently going in the series? You don't think the Knicks could take it to 6 or 7? Man, I know you heard me, man.
It's over.
So you think it's over?
Come on, man. I'm like, let's be realistic. I've watched the same game you watch. Has anything shown you that the Knicks can improve unless leaving Miami? Maybe they can improve because they left Miami. Anything.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to tell you what the problem with the Knicks is. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. This came to my head. The problem with the Knicks is, right, I say it every game. Jalen Brunson is your best player.
Right.
Period. Julius Randle wants to go one-on-one.
Even though y'all gave him a hard time.
Who gave him a hard time?
When he was cooking up there in Dallas, a lot of people say, that they ain't know if he can keep doing it.
No, that's Dallas. Let's give him a hard time. I listen. You're a one-hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like you did it 1 year, so you got to see. Now I'm off of it. You know what I mean? What's his name? Julius Randle and RJ Barrett do the same thing. They all, if you watch their emotion, they always won the basketball and they want to go one-on-one to everybody. Y'all not like that. They're just not like that. Not NBA.
So they ain't like that.
No, not for that.
All that Randall, you be yelling out all the time? Randall. You always talking about Randall, man.
Man, I talk about that most improved now because y'all kept discussing about the most improved. Now I'm Randall. Come on, man. Stop this foolery right now. But I'm just being serious. Like, if you're watching the game, you see what they're doing. If one person don't get the basketball, they get mad. If the other person get the basketball, they get mad. It's just like, if I don't get the basketball, I'm mad. If you get the basketball, the other person's mad. I got to take it one-on-one coast to coast. That ain't working with my end. It's just not working. So I see nothing and absolutely nothing to say, hey, they will even get out of New York.
Interesting. I don't know, man. I mean, it's the playoffs, man. It's rivalry basketball. I like Miami, but it's not like Miami has blown them out in any game, really. It's been close games and down the stretch. Like yesterday, it was a close game, and Miami kind of pulled away. Game 1,
they were a double digit the whole game.
Hey man, where you at, man? You at the house?
I'm just saying the only game I said was really competitive was game 2 because they won, and game 4, I guess I didn't think it was ever competitive. I never felt that the Knicks were going to get a run. Like it never felt like that.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, seriously, like, did you feel like the Knicks actually had a run in them any time?
I feel like any time a team could shoot, like I'm gonna give you an example, and I know I keep going back to the Lakers, but even when we was up double digits, right, in that game, and even when they was up double digits, I'm still like, Yeah, Golden State gonna make a run. Yeah, the Lakers gonna make a run. Like I always feel like when the team can shoot the basketball,
the Knicks can't shoot.
you got Jalen Brunson. He can get hot.
The Knicks can't shoot.
You
You're
got
looking at
Jalen Brunson. He can
and
get
he's
hot.
one guy. He's one small guy. And he does not shoot. He goes pure mid range. That is his favorite spot, elbow to elbow.
You would know all about the elbow. You would know all about the elbow.
But you know the Knicks can't shoot. Stop it. They have no shooters.
They got more shooters than that's on the screen right now. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to
you something else.
We're gonna go ahead and transition to the next series. That's 3-1. Lakers versus Golden State, man. Now you said something earlier. Now what did you say earlier?
Golden State is 7.
And why do you feel that way?
Until somebody knocked the champ off, G State in 7. Now, that's how I feel. Now you want to give my opinion of the series for real? It's just been they shouldn't have lost that game last night. You let Lonnie Walker come off the bench for 15. Where's the defense? Poole's done nothing. Clay gave you one game. He's not been shown. Everybody talking about Curry. He got to shoot all them shots. They can't score. They're tiring him out. Draymond had a ball at the rim and going to kick it out and could have put up one with the layup.
That's the way they play. Three ball.
But it doesn't matter. Go. You're wide open. Go lay it up. So I mean, LeBron is playing okay. He's got his role players. The Lakers role players are playing better than the Golden State role players. That's what really turning the series. Honestly.
In my opinion, this is my opinion. I wouldn't even say my opinion. This is what I said last night in the sports arena. Mm-hmm. I think this is a bad matchup for Golden State.
Why?
Size. They don't have. You really don't like. Honestly, when you're looking at it, Draymond's constantly in foul trouble every game trying to guard AD.
Okay. Go ahead.
When you looked at it yesterday, like you said, Curry is tired. Now, you know why he's tired? Because they're making him play defense. They're putting him in the pick and roll. If you notice, he got switched on LeBron a lot.
I don't really agree with it. And the reason I don't agree with that, you're saying bigs. I don't see. I just don't see it. Here's what I'm sorry. I don't see that.
And he had 21 points in the first half.
I've seen it. But my issue is, if you look at the game last night, you had double digits. The Golden State bench or the role players did not play better than the Lakers. It's been like that the whole series. The role players have. The only game, AD's had a bad game. They got blown out by 27, right? LeBron still a decent game. I still wasn't confident in their role players, even in the blowout.
But even then, yesterday, you had D'Angelo Russell 4 points.
But you come off another role player, Lonnie Walker, with 15 in the fourth. Sometimes like you can mix and match your role players. You can mix and match.
If I'm mistaken, in the fourth, your boy had 9. Moody.
And we ain't seen Moody. Let me see something, man. Let me show you these stats, bro. Because I just look. So we'll Draymond Green. We'll consider. You can't say nothing. Klay Thompson 8. 9. Draymond Green 8. Peyton is the outlier 15. Wiggins 17. Curry 31. Then you got Moody 7. Dante 10.
That was all. If I'm not mistaken, that's all.
And that's fine. Quarter. And that's fine. And Dante 10. You go to the Lakers. You got Davis 23. You got a 15-10. Reeves 21. And you got Walker 15. If no Walker hits that 15, they're winning that game. There's no reason Walker hit 15. If you put two combined, heck, Walker beat daggone Dante and Moody by himself. They both combined with 17 points. Come on, man.
I ain't beat him by himself if he had 15.
You know what I mean. Don't do this. You know exactly what I mean.
I'm just saying, if you had a dozen and a half of donuts, is never mind. All right.
See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, man, I feel like for as much as we get on, and people get on AD, I feel like he's been the difference in these games. When he's played good, when he's played well, and especially people are not talking about the fact that he's bringing it defensively. Like defensively. Well, what you made the face for?
No, I mean, this one thing I never say. Only thing I say about AD is this: he can't stay on the floor. Defensive, I've always knew he was a defensive anchor. He first thing he need to get out of that thing talking about he don't want to play center, right? That was his problem. He never wanted to play center, and he was always injured. If he could have stayed, both would have been straight, which he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? But I've never had complained about his defense. I know he's a defensive animal. But you're right. I mean, AD's been playing well, and the Lakers have gone where they're going, and they're on the brink of eliminating.
When I watched the first half last night, I said, yeah, we got this in the bag because I seen AD had 21. I'm like, yeah, I think he would only score 2 points in the second half? No, but if you notice, he was protecting. I mean, he was protecting the rim.
When he got 15 boards.
Yeah.
That's the AD you need. And I've been saying that. You get that AD, you may got a shot. You get this AD, you don't know where he's 9, 4, and 3, and all of a sudden my ankle hurt, my hip hurt, my tooth hurt. Nah.
All right. So, before we get into this series, I do want to get your take on the controversial thing that happened. Jokic goes in the crowd, not necessarily goes in the crowd, but he goes to get the ball back from a fan, which he didn't know was the Suns owner, and right. he gives him a forearm. How do you feel about that?
What? I'm gonna ask you a question with a question. Should Joker got fined $25,000?
Yeah, I think they took it easy. I mean,
come on, man. So is it? Because I'm asking your question with your answer. So is it because it was the owner or was the fan? So if that was a normal fan, not the owner, would the fan got tossed or would he been fined? Because I already know the answer to this.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If it's an old lady and he does that, I'm asking, you said fan. A fan could be woman, man, child.
Come on, man. You already know what this is. Don't switch it. Don't do this.
If that's an old lady, you still feel the same way?
I think the lady would give him back the basketball. I don't think the lady would have held on to the ball.
Because let's not act like this is the first time a fan has gotten the basketball. We seen Kevin Hart get the basketball on the sideline. He playing around with it. We seen Carmelo take a shot in the game from the stands. Have we not?
No.
So let me go back in the archives.
I don't remember Melo. I remember him taking the shot. But I remember him never taking a shot. Because they were in the garden, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember you taking a shot. But none of that. Everybody knew who Melo was, right? And he took the shot. The crowd cheered, and he got out. You knew what that dude was doing. He seen Josh Okogie get in the stands.
Well, he's helping Josh Okogie up.
Yeah, and then all he had to do is give her the basketball.
So if you
help him up.
So if you
don't need the basketball, help him up, Ty.
So if you standing over there, you let Jokic just snatch the ball from you.
There's no reason for me to get the basketball.
I'm not talking about the owner. I'm talking about Avery Graves, Avery Channing, Michael Graves.
What? Okay, if it was me, if I had a thought process like that, you not get the basketball, but I wouldn't think like that. Go ahead, do your thing, keep moving.
Keep in mind, you probably done had a couple of what'd you be drinking? You probably done had a couple of shots of Crown.
Nah, I'm not getting kicked out the game, so I already know the rules.
Now you done already had a couple of shots of Crown. You come
I'm
over
good.
there.
I'm not getting kicked out the game. I'm just being serious. The owner knew what he was doing.
Let me be on the court and snatch the ball from you like that. You're gonna be trying to do me like Detroit.
For sure. It's you. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very disrespectful. So, all right, transitioning from that, man. How you feel overall about the series? Because both of these last two series are series where the home team went up 2-0. And both teams went away and handled business. Both won 2 in a row.
See, the only thing I have my problem with this Phoenix Denver series, right, is this. Everybody talking about this Chris Paul, the game's gone slow. Is it because their team's at home? Is the players playing better at home? So it would change. Phoenix, to me, has the better players, the two best players. But I don't think they have the best overall team. So can those players and can Monty keep that same rotation? Can they do it in Denver? I don't know. Now, do I think Phoenix is going to win? They're playing tonight, right? Yeah, Phoenix going to win. I do. I think they're going to win these next 4 and call it a day. But I wouldn't be shocked if they lose tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, can these role players shine it? Is TJ Warren getting clocked?
He played 19 minutes last game.
But he should have been did that in game 1 or game 2.
Yeah, I think that.
And what's the other dude from Orlando?
Ross. Terrence
Thank you, Ross. Yes.
Well, to me, man, Phoenix. They have to play that. He had to trust those bench guys a little bit more.
For sure.
Like you have. I've been saying this. I think me and you had this conversation on the phone. They have capable guys on the bench.
Yes.
I've been saying Landry Shamet was capable. T.J. Warren
is
Ross,
capable. Right.
Yeah. I even like the backup center, man, not Biombo.
The white dude?
Yeah.
Is it the white dude?
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Landale.
Yep, I know
Jake Landale. I even like him, man. I don't think Biombo needs to Biombo don't need to play no more. Like it's
the way it's looking, DeAndre Ayton don't need to play either. I'm just saying, man.
I mean, he's due for a good game, man. But you know, this is probably the first game, and I have to look back, but that Phoenix actually outscored the Nuggets bench, in which, I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. But like you said, man, Shamet, I mean, if Shamet don't score those, I think it's 15, 19 points, they don't win that game. Like, he just so happened to start hitting the shots at the right time. Like,
let me ask you this question. Do you think if they used him game 1, game 2, would the series be 3-1? If he used those 3 in game 1, we'll use the 4. Game 1 or game 2, you think the series be 3-1?
I don't think so. I haven't been that high on Denver.
No, I'm talking about 3-1 Phoenix.
No, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been that high on Denver, so I think so. Like, I think Monty Williams should have been going into his bench. I think out of the 4 teams left, I think Denver's the worst team. I do.
I think Denver is the matchup that I think if LA gets through, I don't think Denver's the matchup that Denver's the matchup that LA wants. I don't think so. I think LA rather prefer Phoenix.
I don't think so.
Because AD not gonna go abuse.
But Booker got a history of cooking the Lakers.
Yeah, but
so I don't think you want. I think you want Denver.
I don't know. This is a different joke.
I think if I'm AD, I want to play against Joker.
No, I want to play against 8.
Well, but I mean, because this is just me. If I'm AD,
mm-hmm.
I feel disrespected when people talk about it, even though he's been hurt, and I get it, right? I'm not saying they're wrong, but when people always talk about the best bigs in the league, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. Jokic,
what's wrong?
Giannis,
what's
Embiid.
wrong with that?
If I'm AD, I'm feeling like, look, I should be in this conversation. I'm Avery. I know he's been hurt, but I'm saying if I'm AD, I feel like I'm just as good as these guys, and I should be in the same conversation as them. So I want to play. If it's me, I want to play Jokic. If AD built the way he should be built, he should want to play Jokic. Improve. I mean, I'm just saying.
This is a different Jokic, bro.
Oh no, I'm not doubting that. I mean, that's just like
2 years ago, I may say that this is a little different animal here, bro. He is a little different.
Hey, I
don't know what you say. AD want to match just a proof
neither
point.
one of them can't guard each other, man. But I feel like AD can guard Jokic better than Jokic can guard AD.
I can't tell. We'll see. Whoever gets there, we'll see.
I don't know if we'll see or not. I think the storybook matchup you want is the banana boat crew against each other. Chris Paul versus LeBron, 2 aging superstars. The winner goes to the finals. I think that's the storyline. If I'm the league that I want, Durant versus LeBron, because I'm already getting LeBron and Curry. Now I can get
Curry, Durant for the Golden State legacy, right?
So,
or LeBron to Durant.
I think that's the storyline you want, but then
then
also too, I look at it from maybe they want the back-to-back MVP, deep in the playoffs, because the last 2 years, he's been at a disadvantage with guys being hurt.
Let me ask you this question. It just came to my mind. And I've been thinking about it a couple of days. If Mike Malone loses this series, is he fired?
I think so. And
I was thinking that too.
Go ahead. I think so, because he's gotten a pass the last couple of years because guys was hurt. MPJ and it seems like MPJ wasn't hurt the 1 year, but I
think he was.
Was he?
Yeah, MPJ. I think these last maybe the couple of years he's been all right, but if I'm not mistaken, this first How many years he been in the league?
But Jamal Murray's been hurt.
For 2 years, right?
You got the number one record in the West.
Yeah.
And now you tied 2-2 with the Suns. I think it'll be a good game tonight, but I do think if he loses, I think it'll be similar to Budenholzer.
And I hope Sam Cassell, man, if they do that, I hope Sam Cassell gets a shot. I do, man. He's been out there. Him and daggone Mo Cheeks.
What? I got a question. Me and Danny had a conversation the other day, and he brought up something. He said that he felt like Nick Nurse, the former coach of the Toronto Raptors, is the top 3 coach in the NBA.
I don't know why.
Give me your top 3 coaches then, if you feel that way right now, current.
I give Eric Spoelstra.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And I know he got to inherit this, but he got the champion. He's finding ways. I'm giving it Steve Kerr, and I know I'm still going to pop. He just don't have the team. But if it's talking about coaches excellent, put Pop in them. You don't. It's to me, it's the same equivalent as Phil Jackson going to the Lakers. That's what they needed.
I get what you're saying.
To me, it's the same equivalent.
So you don't think Nick Nurse is a good coach?
What did he do?
That's what I said. I said
if you put Dwayne Casey in the same position with Kawhi Leonard, he has a championship. Mark Jet. Now, see, this is where the argument.
You saying the same exact thing I said to Danny, because I said, Danny, bro, he had a lot of stuff like fall in place. LeBron leaves the East, because if LeBron was still in, Cleveland, even with Kawhi in Toronto, they probably still find a way to beat Toronto.
I don't know. I think it's a different animal, but I can respectfully understand where you're coming from.
The reason why I say that is because Philly had him on the ropes.
It was Game 7.
In the bounce.
He did.
And that what put them up. And then once they got to who they play in the Eastern Conference Finals?
They were down 2-0 against the Bucks. They came back 1-4 straight. And then KD got hurt in the Houston series.
I remember in the third game, they were getting blown out.
Yes, they were.
They were getting blown out.
They were on the verge of 3-0. Yep.
Yeah, they was on the verge of 3-0, and I forgot what happened, but
Kawhi Leonard.
It's like something clicked, and then they started.
And they swept the 4-0. Yeah. But the real we all know. Even if I thought Clay wasn't hurt, if they had got that Game 6, I think Golden State would have won Game 7. They had to get Game 6. They didn't want to go back to Toronto with that momentum. So I don't know what Danny talking about. I don't see it. He got that 1 year. First year he won the title. I'm not gonna say yes he did.
Because Danny's assumption is he thinks that Milwaukee's next coach will be Nick Nurse.
No, they've been talking about that. I get his assumption. I don't know why, but I get the assumption. I don't understand.
My thing for Denver, if you fire Mike Malone and you can't get Nick Nurse, who do you feel like is better? Do you feel like Budenholzer is a step up from Mike Malone?
Catch your question. Mike Malone, Budenholzer, and Nick Nurse are the exact same coach. Tell me any difference from them 3 coaches.
So if they're the exact same coach, I'm not disagreeing with you. If they're the exact same coach, then what do you think you need to go to a Sam Cassell?
I'd rather go to somebody that okay, watch this. Your boy that's the Houston Rockets coach.
Yeah, you talking about Paul Silas' son?
No. He's not the Houston Rockets coach no more.
Oh, you're not? James?
No, Ime Udoka's the Houston Rockets coach now.
Okay.
So what did he do? He did something to flip this light switch to get him to the finals. The Celtics never been in the finals with Brad Stevenson, right? Never. They've been in the East Conference Finals, something flipped, they got to the finals, right? You're telling me you had an injured Brooklyn and he had a big toe game winner. I was going for Milwaukee, though. Got room for Giannis. But let's be realistic. If his big toe went on that line, Budenholzer would have been fired. Nick Nurse has got to the 5th seed, been playing game. I was the one that kept saying Toronto wasn't. Y'all were the ones that said Toronto's pretty good. Chuck especially, he kept saying Toronto. I said Toronto's not good, bro. They're just an average team. If you look at the team, they're average. They don't do anything that is exposed off the screen that's going to make you say, hey, he's a great coach. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. He uses minimum players and elevates them to different heights.
No, I mean, I agree with Spoelstra. I feel like Steve Kerr has been given a
He got a gift.
He got a gift, but I feel like also too people don't because people feel like he's gotten a gift. They don't respect his coaching acumen. Like I don't think they think that he's a good coach. But when I look around the league, like a lot of guys been kind of bouncing, from team to team. Like, and then some of the guys they don't have the like. I don't think. Honestly, I think we're starting to get to the point now where nobody really thinks that anybody's a good coach. You hear people say, and I think I've said it, that they don't feel like Doc Rivers is a good coach.
Nah, I told people that. Listen, Doc had that great Celtics team. He been to 2 finals. Mm-hmm. What has Doc done? Like
people don't feel like that Tyronn Lue, even though he has a championship.
Sometimes you get a lucky hand. Like to me, it's consistency. I think Tyronn Lue had a bad hand. See, I'll give him a pass. He's had a bad hand. You got 2 guys that are always injured. You got one guy that makes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was fired.
I don't think so. I think that they're going to that new arena. You want to establish coach.
I just look at it like this. I know.
But I can understand why you're saying this.
I know as an owner, especially Steve Ballmer, somebody worth a lot of money. They're looking for. The owners are always looking for someone to blame.
For sure.
And then looking for someone to blame. The person that 9 out of 10 is not 9 out of 10 times not going to blame is the superstar.
Which we all know. I'm a Kawhi fan, but I understand.
But he's been hurt, so it's not really. I can't necessarily say that's his fault.
I get it, but I mean, daggone, if I'm hard on AD, I gotta be realistic. Like I can't have it both ways. I'm gonna be biased on my guy, but when y'all make points within our chat, like I have no comeback for because these are actually factual things that the guy is injury prone. Like I have nothing to say on it. Like Ty Lue has had a bad hand, honestly.
Gotcha. So we got, you already pretty much said Miami. You still saying Golden State in 7. I'm going Miami in 6, Lakers in 5.
You're very disrespectful, bro. They're going back to LA. I guarantee it.
I think this Suns Denver series is the one series I don't know about.
I think this Boston Philly series is the one series I don't know about. I don't.
Boston, man, they like Dr. Jekyll.
Mr. Hyde.
You're not getting the same consistency from like Jason Tatum had. I think he had 0 points, 2 points in the first half.
There's no excuse. Jaylen Brown can score 21 and he only get 3 shots in the second half. Then he come back and say, I should ask for the ball more. I'm like, Mazzulla, why are you not running plays for the guy? You the coach.
So do you think if Udoka was there, the series is different?
Yes, for sure.
Because I heard somebody saying, Megan Price said this last night, and I never heard her say anything good about Doc Rivers. She said Doc Rivers is out coaching Joe Mazzulla.
Is it Doc Rivers or James Harden is playing vintage James Harden?
He's somebody I think that like. He's somebody that's been getting that we give a very hard time, and I say we, not me, but I'm just saying in general. He's somebody that we always give a hard time to, but when he does perform, I don't feel like he gets the same.
You talking about James Harden?
Yeah, he doesn't get the same good that he gets bad because, I mean, like I bring him similar to AD. In the 2 games where he showed up and played good, they won. You know what I mean? He had the 40 in the first game without Embiid. Like that's impressive to me. If it's not impressive to anybody else. I mean, you were the only team in the first round that swept your opponent. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think nobody else swept the team. They're the only team that swept the team. You come first game, no Embiid. Everybody just thought you were going to lose. You win. Game 2, I think they got blown out in game 2. Game 2.
Yeah, game 2 is when they rest Embiid again and they got blown out. James Harden didn't play well, right?
Yeah. And then game 3, Embiid had
James Harden
has 30. James Harden played terrible. And then this last game, he goes crazy, 40 something. So I think James Harden is the difference maker in that series. I think he will continue to be the difference maker in that series. But also too, it just like you said, Boston got a way to feed the hot man. If Jaylen Brown got it going, you got to keep letting him go.
See, I'm a Tatum Brown fan, and my issue with those two, and I've been saying this for years, is they don't know how to feed off each other. It's Tatum or it's Brown. You know what I mean? Like, it's not okay, Tatum, we're gonna get you open, and then I got a couple. Let me swing into my man, give him a feel. So if something happens, y'all still in the mix. They don't know how to feed off each other. I just don't. But if they let Harden go back to vintage Harden, they're gonna lose the series, and they got to slow that down. So, but I mean, I'm going for Boston in that series. I'm not going to change my way, but I can see it goes 7 for that series. So we'll see.
All right. So before we get to career over, because we gotta do career over. I can't have Avery Graves on here without doing career over. I want to try a little something different, man. Something that we probably never really done before. I'm gonna give you some names, right?
Okay.
Some players. I'm gonna give you some names, and when I give you these names, I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. All right.
Okay.
All right. Trae Young.
Ice cold.
Zion Williamson.
Blubber.
De'Aaron Fox.
Silky smooth.
And the last one is Tyrese Maxey.
A young gunner.
Okay. All right, so man, look, career over, man. It's all
mine's gonna be quick. I got you. I mean, I've been talking about this career over for a minute, bro. You come in here, you get 140 million, and you telling me your stat line, 140 million is 0 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, and that's why your butt got 10 minutes. Man, if Golden State if he don't get his act right, career over for him in Golden State. And I'm talking about Jordan Poole. It's just been other disappointment. You're over there malcontent in the locker room. You've done nothing. You've been a shell of yourself, and you just got the bag. And everybody kept saying, once you get the bag, he's going to change. That's why Draymond knocked you behind out. You're trying to knock your sense to you, but we see that didn't work. So career over, Jordan Poole, man. Career over, man. He pissing me off, man. That 100 come on, man. Come on now.
Hey, I feel you, man. This been your boy Tiras, Avery Graves, man. Like I said, we had to pop up on y'all talk about this playoff basketball, man. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.